Pakistan's security crisis appears to be worsening. A new report shows terror attacks surged by 27% in May, with sharp increases in civilian and security force casualties. Balochistan has emerged as the epicenter of violence, while terrorist groups like TDP continue to challenge the state's authority. What is driving this resurgence? And what does it mean for Pakistan's future stability? To discuss this, we are joined by geopolitical affairs expert Dipankar Sen Gupta. Hello, sir. Welcome to Newsweek South Asia. My first question to you is terror attacks in Pakistan rose by 27% in May. What does this sharp increase tell us about the country's overall security situation?
See, Pakistan's security situation, especially after it interfered in Afghanistan and ensured that Taliban came to power, has been such that after the Taliban seized power, things have been increasingly bad in Pakistan. Whatever they have done to ensure that the Taliban comes to power actually has poisoned the Pakistani polity and Pakistani society twice over. The first poisoning took place during the Afghan Jihad. The second poisoning took place now. And as a result, what has happened is you have a society, parts of which are extremely receptive to violence and violent teachings, and that is today coming back to bite the Pakistanis.
So, has Pakistan's historical use of terrorist proxies created a security blowback that it can no longer control?
It's always been the case. You see, even during the first Afghan Jihad, Pakistan did certain things which poisoned its own polity, its own society. In the second case, I think it has become worse. They expected that when they propped up the Taliban in Afghanistan, they would have what they have always dreamt, strategic depth. Actually, what has happened is the following. You have created a force, TTP, which now insists that the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is either a part of Afghanistan or it should be an Islamic emirate. Now, where do they get these ideas from? Where have they got their weapons from? And ultimately, the ideas and the weapons have all actually come from Pakistan. So yes, it's a blowback and the Pakistanis are reaping what they have sowed over decades.
Balochistan witnessed a 109% increase in attacks in just 1 month. Why has the province become the most volatile region in Pakistan?
There has always been an issue whether Balochistan actually acceded to Pakistan legally. On top of that, the Balochis see that their provinces are bled dry. Atomic tests are conducted in Balochistan against the wishes of the Baloch people. That leads to resentment, and that is why the Balochis have taken up arms. And they get support from practically nobody. The Iranians don't support them. Other side are the Pakistanis and the other side is the sea. So they have no way to get weapons, but they've procured weapons and they are resisting against the Pakistanis. The solution of this could be very simple, an economic package to Balochistan. But unfortunately, the Pakistan army, which controls everything, are inclined to continue this economic exploitation of Balochistan.
What impact could this deteriorating security environment have on Pakistan's political stability and economy?
You see, one of the things that Pakistan and China have boasted of is the CPEC, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which basically runs from Xinjiang through Gilgit-Baltistan, which is actually part of India, through POK, through Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Punjab, and therefore it goes to Balochistan. If Gwadar itself is threatened, if Balochistan is unstable, then this particular economic corridor, which is part of the Belt and Road Initiative of China, this basically comes under threat. So all this talk about gas lines coming in from Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Iran into Pakistan and then going to China, which are Pakistan's fanciful dreams. This will never be reality until Balochistan is pacified, and we have seen for the last 7 decades the Balochistanis have not been pacified. So I think there is trouble ahead for Pakistan, although Pakistan claims that it's now sitting at the high table, and all in all, this province, which is the largest in Pakistan but has the fewest people, is ending up undermining and destabilizing all of Pakistan.
So, how much responsibility does the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan or TTP bear for the current spike in violence?
See, there is no doubt that the current spike in violence is basically because of the TTP. But then you have to ask yourself the question as to why the TTP has been, why the TTP actually came about. Secondly, you have to basically bring in a new kind of politics. The mainstream political party in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa has always been the Awami National Party. But unfortunately, the Pakistani establishment has always tried to undermine the Awami National Party. It has always tried to undermine secular politics to such an extent that even the ANP is forced to take certain extreme religious positions in this particular regard. When the Pakistani army itself destabilizes politics in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, forcing even secular parties to take extreme religious positions, then obviously the only winner will be forces like the Tehreek-e-Taliban. And therefore, while you may blame the Tehreek-e-Taliban for the spike in violence in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, it is the Pakistani establishment and the Pakistani deep state that is ultimately responsible.
Thank you so much for giving us your time, sir.